the Oscars. I just feel as though the Oscars are fair. They know exactly which films to nominate. They know exactly which films to give the awards to. I honestly think that the Oscars have never made one mistake. And until you can prove me wrong, I will continue to say that.
And the Oscar goes to Green Book.
Bohemian Rhapsody, John Otten.
The Oscar goes to Eddie Redmayne.
And the Oscar goes to Crash.
And the Oscar goes to The King's Speech.
And the Oscar goes to Shakespeare in Love.
And the Oscar goes to
Driving Miss Daisy, Richard Titanic. And the Oscar goes to Forrest Gump.
And the winner is Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Come on. La La Land.
Psych! There's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture. This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
Oh. Okay, those are pretty bad. As you all know, the Oscars are this Sunday. Usually during this time of year, these award shows tend to give the same awards to the same people, and none of us are ever surprised, but this year it seems to be very different. Usually it's one person to win it all. It's just very unpredictable in certain ways. So what's the point of the video I'm making right now? I love to predict which films will win each category. So I'm going to look at all of the categories right now, and I'm going to pick which ones I would like to win and which ones I think are going to win. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about each category. There are some that I really want to talk about, and there are others that I don't have much to say on. So let's just get started, shall we? For visual effects, the nominees are Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Man, and Tenet. Right off the bat, I have seen only one film off this list, and it's Tenet, and I think it's going to win, and what the fuck, I hope it wins. Okay, next we're gonna do sound. The nominees for sound are Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Sound of Metal has this in the bag, and I would love it to win. Just the way the film works with sound and putting you in the perspective of the main character, I just feel like it works really well with sound, and without it, I don't think the movie would work as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Sound of Metal takes that award. For live action short film, the nominees are Feeling Through, The Letter Room, The Present, Two Distant Strangers, and White Eye. I'd have to say my favorite is probably Feeling Through and The Present. I really like those ones. I also like White Eye. I did not like The Letter Room. I felt like it went nowhere. And I really didn't like Two Distant Strangers. Two Distant Strangers kind of just feels distasteful and unsubtle. They throw a lot of stuff in your face, and it just feels like someone who's out of touch wrote this film and they don't actually know how things happen. And it kind of sucks because the subject matter that they're working with is actually very important. And I mean, there are parts that kind of work, but overall, I just didn't like it. I would really love Feeling Through to win, but I'm not gonna lie, I think Two Distant Strangers is gonna win, so that's what I think's gonna win. Let's go with that. For animated short film, the nominees are Burrow, Genius Loci, If Anything Happens, I Love You, Opera, Yes People. Usually, the Oscars tend to go with the Pixar choice. However, I think the Pixar choice is extremely weak this year. Burrow was cute, but it was nothing. I did not like Opera, even though a lot of people tend to really like it. I just thought it was very simple and there's just too much happening all at once. Yes, People did not deserve the nomination. That was a weird fucking movie. Genius Loci, if I'm saying that right, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Genius Loci is very abstract and I love the way it visually presents the film. I'm gonna go ahead and say my favorite is If Anything Happens, I Love You, and I honestly think it's gonna win. One, it's Netflix. Two, the subject matter is important and a lot of people are gonna talk about it, and I think it's the most accessible one. I honestly don't think that the Oscars care about any of these categories, so I think they just go, hey, what's the most accessible one? Let me get that. I'll grab that. That's what they go with. They just go with the most accessible and they pick it. In this case, I kind of want the most accessible one to win, and I think it will. So If Anything Happens, I Love You is my choice. For production design, the nominees are The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet. I love the production design in The Father. I love the production design in Mank. Tenet was really good. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, really good. What I would like to win would probably be Mank, and I think it's gonna win. I really think this is the shot that Mank has at winning an Oscar, and I think they're gonna give it to it because it's old time Hollywood cinema. The Academy loves that shit, so that's my choice. Mank is gonna win Best Production Design. For Best Original Song, the nominees are Fight For You, Hear My Voice, Husavik, Losi, Scene, and Speak Now. The only ones I remember are Losi and Speak Now. I like both of those a lot, actually, and I do like Losi, or Scene. I thought it was a really good song. At first, I was kind of iffy on it. I heard it again. I thought it was really good. But my favorite is Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Leslie Odom Jr., just the way he sings is so beautiful in the song, and his vocal range is very, very impressive. I honestly think it has a shot. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and say Speak Now is going to win this award, and I want it to win, so let's hope it does. For Best Original Score, the nominees are Da 5 Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. I don't remember a lot of these scores. I kind of have like moments of Minari in my head, but the one that really rings true to my ears is Soul. The very electronic moments of the film, the jazz moments of the film, I remember a lot of that. So I honestly think it's gonna go to Soul, and I would like it to win. Alright, for Makeup and Hairstyling, the nominees are Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, and Pinocchio. I honestly think that Emma's gonna win this one. I feel like a lot of those old-time period piece films are the ones to win these types of awards. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Emma on this one. That's my choice. For Documentary Short Subject, the nominees are Colette, A Concerto is a Conversation, Do Not Split, Hunger Ward, and A Love Song for Latasha. I don't know any of these, so I'm gonna just pick a random one, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna say A Concerto is a Conversation is gonna win. I hope I said that right, but yeah, I think that one's gonna win. I don't know why, the name just seems convincing. For Documentary Feature, the nominees are Collective, Crip Camp, The Mole Agent, My Octopus Teacher, and Time. I was not that huge on Time. I feel like the only thing Time really had going for it was the visual presentation of the film. I wasn't the biggest fan of My Octopus Teacher, but just off of the BAFTA win, I feel like it could win the Oscar. I honestly don't know. It could go to Collective maybe. I heard a lot of good stuff about Collective, but I'm gonna go ahead and say My Octopus Teacher wins, and I don't really have something that I want to win here yet. For Costume Design, the nominees are Emma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Mulan, and Pinocchio. I'm gonna go ahead and say Emma again on this one. It's a costume movie. If anything were to ever upset this one, maybe Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, but I'm pretty set on Emma, so I'm gonna go with Emma, and I honestly don't mind whoever wins this category, as long as it's not like Mulan or Pinocchio, because I haven't seen those. Cinematography, the nominees are Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. First of all, why is The Trial of the Chicago 7 here? That movie felt so visually bland for me. I'm not saying a film has to be like a visual treat, it has to have all these beautiful colors, but there's nothing really impressive going on with The Trial of the Chicago 7. I really like the way Judas and the Black Messiah was shot. I love the way Nomadland was shot, and Mank as well. This is a hard one because I don't feel very strong towards a lot of these nominees. I would be okay with Nomadland winning because I really do think it has a great shot at winning cinematography. It's won a lot of the other award shows. So I'm going to go ahead and say Nomadland's going to take this one. Film editing, the nominees are The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. My favorite here would probably be The Father. I think the way the film weaves through all of these different set pieces and all these different times, I just like the way that film's edited. In terms of what's gonna win, I'm gonna say Sound of Metal is gonna win this one. I also don't feel strong for these ones as well, but Sound of Metal would be a very good choice, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I think it's gonna win, Sound of Metal. International Feature Film, the nominees are Another Round, Better Days, Collective, The Man Who Sold His Skin, and Quo Vadis Ida. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. I haven't seen any of these besides Another Round. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but I think since it's so accessible, it's on Hulu. Everyone loves Mads Mikkelsen. and I feel like that has enough going for it to where it could win international film. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's the winner right there. Animated feature film, the nominees are Onward, Over the Moon, A Shaun the Sheep Movie, Farmageddon, Soul, and Wolfwalkers. Is there even a conversation to be had here? Come on, it's Pixar. Obviously, this award is going straight to Soul, and I want it to win. I really like Soul. It was my second favorite film of the year, and yeah, you know what? I would be okay with Soul. For Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees are Borat's subsequent movie film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. The only one that would make me truly happy to win this award is The Father. While I do think Nomadland is a great film, I don't think its screenplay is what everyone's raving about. The Father, however, has some fantastic writing. A lot of the dialogue just really eats at your core and your heart, and I feel like that'd be a really good win. However, just off the simple fact that most Best Picture winners go on to win at least a screenplay award, I'm gonna go ahead and say Nomadland is gonna take this one. And yeah, that's my choice. For Best Original Screenplay, the nominees are Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. I would actually love it if Sound of Metal or Judas and the Black Messiah won this one. I think Promising Young Woman's gonna take this one, and I wouldn't be too upset. That's a okay screenplay. It's not my favorite screenplay of the nominees. Yeah, Promising Young Woman is probably gonna win this award. All right, let's get into some of the performances. We had some fantastic performances this year, so let's jump right into it. For Best Actor in a Supporting Role, the nominees are Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of the Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami, Paul Raci, Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. Lakeith Stanfield is in this category. That is a very, very strange choice for supporting. It's so clear that he is the leading actor in Judas and the Black Messiah. I loved Paul Raci in Sound of Metal. Sacha Baron Cohen, I don't love his performance, but there are moments that I actually felt, hey, this is award worthy. Lakeith Stanfield was great, but oh, come on, guys. Daniel Kaluuya is one of the best actors of this generation, and I am so excited to say that he's probably going to win this award, and I really want him to. Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah as Fred Hampton is one of the best performances of the year. It's fantastic. He's incredible. I am so happy to say that he might win this award. Let's hope. Let's freaking hope. For Best Actress in a Supporting Role, the nominees are Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Ye Jung-yoon for Minari. I hope I didn't butcher anyone's name, so if I did, I apologize. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like one of these is a fucking imposter. Why the hell is Glenn Close nominated? I saw Hillbilly Elegy, it was terrible. She was fine, Glenn Close was fine, but there was another performance in a supporting role that I found to be much better. It was in the film Pieces of a Woman. Ellen Burstyn, I feel, totally deserved to be in this category. For some reason, she wasn't nominated. And Glenn Close came on top. I don't understand why. The rest of the nominees, however, I thought were really good. I loved Olivia Colman in The Father. I loved Maria Bakalova in Borat. Amanda Seyfried was really good in Mank. But man, nothing really beats Ye Jung-yoon in Minari. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. She was just so sweet and lovable in Minari. I would love it if she won, and I really do think she's going to win. Let's hope on that one too. For Best Actor in a Leading Role, the nominees are Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Steven Yeun for Minari. Now, for the first time in a very long time, there is not one weak performance on this list for Best Actor. I know a lot of people are going to tell you that Gary Oldman didn't deserve his nomination, and I'm not going to lie, I would have picked one more performance over his, and that would be Delroy Lindo for Defy Bloods. Nevertheless, Gary Oldman was really fucking good in Mank, and the rest of the performance I think are so much better. I love Steven Yeun. I love Chadwick Boseman, Riz Ahmed. My favorite performance from this list is Anthony Hopkins in The Father. It's probably my favorite performance of Anthony Hopkins in general, and that's coming from someone that loves Silence of the Lambs. The top three for me, though, Anthony Hopkins, Riz Ahmed, and Chadwick Boseman are fantastic leading actors in their films. In the beginning of award season, I really had my money on Chadwick Boseman, but with Anthony Hopkins' BAFTA win and Riz Ahmed's Spirit Award win, it's a little scary to pick one because any of these people could win at this point, but I'm gonna stick to my gut. As much as I would love Anthony Hopkins to win this award, I think Chadwick Boseman's gonna win, and it would totally be deserving. He was fantastic in his last role. For Best Actress in a Leading Role, the nominees are Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day for The United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. This is a great list of nominees. My favorites would probably have to be Vanessa Kirby and Andra Day. The United States vs. Billie Holiday was not a good film at all, not at all, but Andra Day really shocked me with her performance. She gives her all. I think she's the best part of the film, and she's not given a lot, but she takes every moment and just makes it her own. She's perfect in that film. Vanessa Kirby, such a gut-wrenching performance. Just the first scene alone, the long take of her giving birth, is one of the most convincing performances I've seen all year. I would love it if she won, because I'm kind of sad that she's the only one out of these nominees to not receive any love with the award shows. Carey Mulligan was also fantastic. Frances McDormand, very subdued, but also very great. Viola Davis, while I feel like she didn't get a lot of screen time, not as much as Chadwick Boseman, she's a force to be reckoned with in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Honestly, all of these would be a great win, not gonna lie. This wouldn't be my favorite one to win, but just off the BAFTA win, I think Frances McDormand has this one in the bag. I feel like Andra Day and Vanessa Kirby, Viola Davis, Carey Mulligan, I feel like they were much stronger. But then again, Frances McDormand's performance is very subdued, and that was the point, and she's so freaking good. I don't like that people are kind of trying to discredit her performance for not being so showy. I thought she was fantastic in her scenes. So yeah, I'm gonna say Frances McDormand's gonna win. I would love it if any of these people win though. So yeah, you know what? Let's see what happens. For achievement in directing, the nominees are Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Chloe Zhao is going to win, and she's going to make fucking history, people. It's so awesome that she will be the second woman to ever win Best Director. I think it's awesome, but also sad that this is the first time we've had more than one nominee that's a woman. We have Chloe Zhao and Emerald Fennell. It's pretty sad just how much women are snubbed when it comes to directing. There are so many films directed by women that get completely snubbed for this category. I mean, we're talking about Celine Sciamma, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. We're talking Greta Gerwig for Little Women. We're talking Lulu Wang for The Farewell. There are so many films directed by women that just totally get swept under the rug, and it's finally time that we give more recognition to women. And Chloe Zhao taking home the award is my choice. I'm so happy that she's basically the front runner for this, and I really hope she wins, and I really think she's going to win. All right, people, this is what you came for. Best Picture. This is the most important award of the night. Everyone knows that. And your nominees are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think any of these are horrible choices. My least favorite would probably be Mank and The Trial of the Chicago 7. The rest, I think, are actually really good. My personal pick, I would love it if The Father won Best Picture. It's my favorite of the nominees. Judas and the Black Messiah would be a great pick. Minari, Sound of Metal would be awesome, but I think we all know what's gonna happen. I think Nomadland's gonna take it, and if anything else wins, honestly, this scares me, but with just the SAG Award win for The Trial of the Chicago 7, they kind of have a chance as well. I hope that's not the case. I hope Nomadland takes it, and I really think it's gonna win. You guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, please go listen to the Filmaholics podcast. It's a podcast that me and my buddies do. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Go check that shit out. Also, the Filmaholics podcast has merch. Do you want to see this merch? merch? Well, here you go. Blam! Look at these shirts. They're custom made. It goes with every outfit that you can think of. And guess what? One shirt is only $13. That's insane. $13. And what? You want 2 shirts? Well, guess how much that would be. 2 shirts? That's $25. If you are interested in purchasing a shirt, please DM us on Instagram at FilmaholicsPod or on Twitter at Filmaholics_pod. Guys, thank you so much for supporting me, supporting the podcast, supporting whatever the hell I do. I really appreciate it. Please stay safe, wear a mask, go get vaccinated if you can, and just take care.